Sergeant Underwood, this is Mr. Kamau.
Good morning. Thank you for returning my call.
No problem. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. As you know, we record all of our calls, so I just want to make you aware of that. And I assume you were calling yesterday to get information on Anna. I didn't know if you had a specific question, but I'll be happy to talk with you.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was in regards to her case. And essentially, we'd received a call a little more than a month ago from an individual named Josh with policeabuse.com.
Right.
And he stated that she would be willing to do an interview with us at basically a neutral location, and she was comfortable picking a classroom in the college that she goes to. However, in this past more than a month or so, we haven't been able to make any contact with either Josh or Anna. So I was curious if you had an update or if you knew anything as far as are they still willing to proceed with that? But we're kind of at a bit of a standstill.
Yeah, actually,
investigating our complaint.
No, that's not a problem. I understand exactly where you are. In fact, I've been in communication with both Josh and Anna over the last couple of weeks, and we've been working out a timetable for her to give you the evidence that she has on her behalf. But I want to just stop for a minute and address a few things that she raised with me, which are really at the center of her reluctance to talk at this moment. First of all, when I spoke with Josh about maybe a month and a half ago, maybe a little less, he told me that you guys had already completed an investigation that was sent to the DA's office and that they had returned with a rejection letter. And I wanted to know if that was correct or was that wrong information?
I'm only going to speak to you on the internal investigation, the administrative part of our investigation, and that is not a complete investigation at this point.
Okay.
That's all I'm responsible for, so that's all I'm going to speak to.
Okay, great. So your investigation is not complete.
That is correct.
Okay, but my question is, if you sent information to the DA to have them do an investigation and it did not include a statement from Anna, how is that appropriate?
Again, I tried to explain to you. I'm just involved in the administrative investigation, so I have not sent anything over to the DA.
Okay.
And I'm not involved in any other portion of this investigation other than the administrative investigation.
Okay.
Regarding the complaint against our officer.
Okay, got it.
That's all I can address with you.
Okay, that's fine. Second point is Anna has some level of concern, whether it's completely founded or not. It's reasonable that someone having gone through a situation like she had would have some fears. And I don't want to exaggerate any imaginary fears, but if there are real concerns, I want to make sure they're addressed. So I want to make you aware that she's reported a couple of concerns to me that I want to put on your radar. Okay?
Yeah, great.
Okay, first, she had some uncomfortableness with your department because officers had come to her house once before, unannounced and uninvited. And that frightened her substantially, and I've had a lot of difficulty getting her to appreciate that you guys were not trying to do something inappropriate. I know that you're trying to get an investigation completed, but the officers that came scared her, and she's been frightened ever since. And I want to make sure that if there is any communication now or in the future, that it be scheduled, that she has a time to prepare for it, and that if she wants someone there for support, that we can make arrangements to do that. Fair enough?
Absolutely. That sounds fair enough on my end.
Okay, perfect. And then the second thing is that she mentioned to me that she felt she was being followed. Now, my staff is about split 50-50 on this in terms of, is she really being followed or is it her imagination? Because people can tend to see things that aren't happening if they're afraid. And I know she's very afraid, so I don't want to exaggerate anything. But she has taken photographs of a couple of vehicles that she's seen on more than one occasion following her. And I want to make sure that she's not under some sort of surveillance by a surveillance unit. Now, you probably know more about my background from our website and what we do. I've worked surveillance, and it's done. I know that it happens in cases where officers are doing things. The officer can be followed, and it can also be used on a citizen if the police department is pursuing a complaint or a false allegation or something. And you may not be able to address it, but I want to make you aware of this, that if someone is following her, we think it's inappropriate and we think it's intimidation, and we are now documenting it. We've given her some equipment to use that will be used for that purpose. So you didn't know this until today, so I'm making you aware of it now. And If we collect enough evidence to show that someone is following her, we will then raise the issue again at a later date. But at this point, I want to tell you that if someone is following her from the Torrance Police Department or another agency related to this matter, that it has caused her substantial distress and concern, and it needs to stop if that's what's happening. So I wanted to make you aware of that. And I know that right now, because I'm a cop, I know that you probably can't even comment, but I'm putting that out on your plate so that you're aware of it.
You know, I mean, I can in a sense. Number one, I want to start. I appreciate the concerns and I appreciate the stuff you guys are doing. I understand it 100%. From our end, from my end, I should say, working in the admin side here at the department, she is a complainant and a personnel complaint. So on my end, I'm concerned about her complaint and the proper procedure being done by our officers. As her being a complainant, on my end, I would have zero reason to follow her or zero reason to have any contact with her other than to make sure that we are giving her proper service and to fully investigate her complaint against our officer. So I can, if it helps you guys and you're in rest assured all that it's not coming from me or us.
Okay, perfect.
If it in fact exists.
Okay, perfect. All right, I will talk with her today, and if you can do this so that there's no further communication problems, if you'll call me and deal directly with me, like we scheduled a time, you told me you were going to be available, we got it done. I will be available anytime you need me so that we can make this happen. I'm going to talk with her today or tomorrow as soon as I can get her on the phone. We'll discuss a meeting place that'll be convenient for her, and then she'll give you a statement. But I do want to make you aware, she's going to be probably with someone who's working at my staff. They will be recording her interview, and if you need any physical evidence or anything else, you're going to need to tell us in advance what you need. And she's not going to be answering any questions regarding anything related to what happened before the officer arrived, other than she had been detained by store personnel related to a shoplifting charge. She'll say that much, but beyond that, she's not going to comment on that because it's a criminal matter and it just wouldn't be wise. But in terms of anything she has to say about what happened with Officer Force, she'll be willing to answer any questions on that ground, and as long as it sticks to that issue, she'll tell you whatever she has to say with respect to what she experienced.
The criminal part is not my concern. Obviously, it's the interaction with the officer, so that is the direction of my questions, and I'm perfectly comfortable with someone from your organization being with her as support.
Okay.
However, we're not comfortable with you guys recording the interview because it's an internal investigation for our department. We're perfectly okay with you being there as support. However, the recording's going to be done on our side.
Well, let me address that briefly, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
I do investigations, as you probably know, all over the country, and I've sat in on dozens of interviews, and I don't know of any law that restricts a citizen from recording their own statement. Even if you went in to see a psychiatrist, you're allowed to record. I've done it. So I know you can see someone. When I was suing Hawthorne PD, I was ordered to go in and see their shrink, and I brought in a tape recorder. And he didn't like it. He said, you can't do that. And he went and checked the law, and I can. And I don't think that there's any law restricting her having a...
I'm not threatening you with any law or anything. I'm not trying to claim there's a law. That was just the way that we were comfortable doing this investigation and the way we do our internal investigations, I should say.
Okay, well, this is what I'll agree to. We'll agree not to make the investigation public until it's over, but she's going to have a recording of her own statement. She needs that for her own defense or whatever may come up out of this. As you may or may not know, the officer communicated with us on our YouTube account, and I know it was him. And then another officer logged in. He then deleted what he posted up there, but we saved a copy. And things are going on outside the lines. So I want to make sure that she has a complete record of her case. So if you guys are unwilling to conduct an interview and allow her to have a copy of her own recording, then we can't do the interview.
Okay, fair enough. How about this? Can I follow up on this on my end? And
Yes.
I will get back in touch with you.
Yes, absolutely. Let me know. She's not going to put it in the newspaper, or she's not going to, put it on the internet, at least not while it's an active investigation. And her primary concern is to have a record of her own statement.
Okay, you mentioned a direct contact number with you. Do you want me to use the same phone number or
Yeah,
a different number? number?
No, you can call. I'll give you my cell phone, and I'll give you. I have the office line, but I'll give you all my numbers. The principal number you can get me at, just to let me know what's going on, is 850-459-3003. And if you just call that 800 number that you may have called yesterday, all you need to do is just press 3, and that'll ring it. It'll ring all of my phones, every one that I have.
Right. Okay. I also had a 300 or a 310 number for you.
Yeah, that number is also good. That's a direct line to my office.
Great. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks again for the call back, and I will be in touch with you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Goodbye.